Alright, to draw this shape, I'm going to look at the plan on the whiteboard and then build it off the SketchUp program. I'll put a copy of the plans too in Schoology. Don't have them there yet. I want to do a web search for the website. It's called my.sketchup.com. And then you want to sign in with Google. My account's already been established, so I bypass that. You may come to a screen that asks you to begin modeling or to sign up with Google. Just take those avenues to get you to the drawing screen. Alright, so I'm going to say no and begin from scratch. So here's our blank drawing screen. This green line represents the y-axis. The red line is the x-axis, and the blue line is the z-axis. This is a little guy standing here, just a reference point, so you kind of get your bearings as far as how big drawings are going to be. I think he's a 6-foot tall gentleman, maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet wide. So if I'm drawing a little 3 by 3 inch square, it might be the size of his shoe right here. So I'm going to click on this guy and get rid of him. I'm going to delete. I'm going to use the orbit tool to click and drag and spin the screen a little bit, using my 2 fingers to zoom out by scrolling up. I'm going to grab the screen. I think I have the hand tool to drag this part of the screen over a little bit. Click and hold. Go back to the orbit tool and spin the screen. I want to have that XY axis kind of make it be a little more correct, like you would see like in a math class. There's my y-axis, my x-axis. I'm going to draw that shape line by line with a pencil tool. I'm going to click and just drag along the red axis. I'm watching along down here my length of my line. This is about a 5-foot long line. I'm typing the number 3 in, hit enter. That's a 3-inch long line. If you can't see it, don't panic. Just use your 2 finger to scroll in by pulling the mouse trackpad downward to zoom in so you can see that line pretty clear. Okay. I'm going to go now from my point of view, this appears to be crooked and crooked. If I try to get there, that looks straight. Like a right angle between that horizontal line and the vertical line look at a right angle, but they're not. Trust the colors of the screen. Trust the axes. Red axis, green axis. So I want to be on the green axis line, 3 enter. I want to go on the red axis line, 3 enter. And then back down on the green axis line, 3 enter. Orbit my screen now, I'm orbiting. Tip it back so now it's vertical. Now we have vertical lines. Okay, so trust the axes. It may look crooked, but this is your viewpoint from your camera. Just keep drawing. Plans call for another 3-inch line here. As long as I'm green, 3 inch. As long as I'm red, 3 inch. Plans call for a 3-inch line as long as I'm green. And then a 1/4 of an inch along that axis. I'm going to hit escape to end that line. I'm going to draw a line here downward at 3 inches. I'm off the camera, so I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And then move the mouse down and zoom in. And I want to go a 1/4 of an inch here. And escape to end that line. So I just drew a 3-inch by 3 inch by 3 inch by 3 inch square. Added a 3-inch by 3 inch by 3 inch square to it. Added my 3-inch tall wing, 1/4 inch little flat spot, 3-inch wing, 1/4 inch flat spot. Same thing here too. I'm going to go downward. In this case it's going to be your green axis to 1/4 inch. And I want to connect the dots. I'm going to drag my mouse until there's 2 little dots appear. I'm on the end of that 1/4 inch nose. I'll click it. That line's drawn in. I'm going to use that little pan tool again to move the screen down and then to keep drawing. And I go upward on the green axis, a 1/4 of an inch, and then connect to the endpoint. Got it. So my shape is pretty much drawn. Now to make the small little folding lines. I want to be able to have this line be folded, folded, folded. Okay, so hold on. So here's that shape flat, but what I want to do in the metal shop is like cut this part on the plasma cam, bring it over to a vise, use a hammer, and bend those tabs up to give me this little 3-dimensional shape here. I can then take my MIG welder and do a 2F weld along these 3 seams and then a 3F weld vertical, 3F weld vertical. That's my ultimate goal, is to have that shape folded and welded using a 2 and 3F weld for those. So now I'll make these lines foldable. Here's the next step. I need to use a little tape measure tool, and I want to measure about a quarter, let's go 3/16 of an inch downward. Let's go 3/16 of an inch upward. I'll show why in a little bit. Let's go 3/16 of an inch in this direction, and then 3/16 in this direction. What I'm making is little marks on my drawing because I want to be able to cut this chunk of the cut line away, but keep this line. So if I cut this little line away and the cutter cuts, this will be left alone, this will be attached, this will be cut and sliced like a perforated line. Okay? So there's all my little marks, oops, get out of there, marks I made. Now to close those off, I'm just going to draw a line. I'm going to go past it so I don't get them confused in my lines I want to keep. Oops, undo that. Let's draw a line anywhere on that line. I'm going to go through my shape. I'm going to go from anywhere on this line through my shape. Okay, these are little guidelines so I know which line I'm going to work with as far as the cutting goes. Okay. I drew them long so I know these are my guidelines. These are my shape lines. So now I'm going to erase that little chunk, on all 4 points of view. Yep. There it is. Some keyboard shortcuts you can do too. I'm trying here to figure it out. E means erase. H is for that hand tool to pan on the screen. E means erase. You can erase these two lines and those two lines. Let me see here. Okay, got it. And zoom back out. And then erase all my guidelines. So this guideline don't need, plus all occurrences of this line. That was there for me to help me know what's going on. There was this line and all occurrences of it. There was this line and all occurrences of it. And this line and all of its extras. So now what I have is that shape. So the cutter's going to cut on all the outlines, going to cut the perimeter out, and then slice this little slice here, here, and here. Let me fold it up into this shape, which I can weld. There's that drawing of this part. We'll call it part number 1. Alright, almost forgot. When you're done, we're going to save this part. Save it to your account for right now. Just give it a file name, call it part number 1, and then we'll save it. Save it. Oh, okay. So I had to go into my SketchUp account. There we go. Let's call it part 1 and save here. And let's call it part 1 saved. Or even save as works too, I guess. File save as part 1. Yes. Okay. Then here we're going to kind of try to get this part to be brought out back to our. Okay, let's export this eventually as we want to go a DXF. It's a cuttable path, but they're all locked. So we have a free version. We have to export this as a PNG. And this will attach to your Schoology worksheet to submit for grading. So when I'm all said and done, go to the file folder, export, PNG, find the file, add it to your Google Drive account, add it to the document, submit it on Schoology.